one stick can be broken.
Yeah.
But 10, put 10 together and you can't break it.
Mm-hmm.
So as a group, we feel we've been able to achieve more than we could have done as individuals.
Yeah.
And I guess so. That's that's this power of Sangha, of coming together, and it's like-minded people coming together so that we can really empower each other. So when there have been times where we go up and down, because at the end of the day, we're human. So emotion, I always say to people, we're a bag of hormones. It's a bag of chemicals.
Yeah.
Those chemicals are going to get affected one way or another. So, I always say to everyone that we fall and we struggle is not a problem. We're human. I'm human. I'm in a bag of chemicals.
Yeah.
The key for me is how quickly I can dust myself down and get up.
That's it.
Recovery rate is key.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's also having that compassion that as humans, we've been a struggle. The people I work with are going to have good days, off days, even though we're endeavoring to be our best. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, so therefore, I feel the power of Sangha is really what brought us together and has kept us together. So we do come together as a team, wherever we are around the globe, to chant together, to meditate together, because I feel it's almost like a neutral ground. So if you've got differences of opinion with someone, or you've got you've had an interesting day, I've always noticed whenever we come together in that Sangha, it neutralizes everything and we greet each other again, soul to soul, not personality to personality.
Yeah.
That I think has helped us, because we understand we're human, but we meet somewhere where we're neutral and we recognize we're more than that.
Yeah, and the power of the group, of course, because that's pretty much how it all started. I mean, for you guys, that's
totally
amazing.
Totally. When you come together with a group of like-minded people, and those, they're praying together or chanting together, it's a phenomenal. It's a phenomenal. And I believe myself that every little action of goodness makes a difference. When you light a flame, it makes a difference to the world. When you do an act of kindness, it makes a difference to the world. When you think positively, it changes the
everything around you.
Yes,
absolutely.
Field. I believe we're in a conscious field, and we can change that conscious field. We can contribute that conscious field and change the way people think and feel, which is, I guess, the fundamental foundation upon which we work.
Yeah.
We are working on changing consciousness, so that we can, by our prayers, by giving people the tools to change themselves around the globe, they change consciousness, they help change the consciousness of their friends and family, and on it goes like a pack of dominoes in the world. That if we can help people affect a conscious change, I believe those little acts, small acts of kindness, can affect a global transformation. So that's the power of so I guess the Sangha then is helping achieve that as well. That keeps us empowered and strong and confident. Which is why I'm always inviting people to come and just spend a bit of time with us, just to taste this group consciousness.
Yeah.
So that's Sangha. Then the other one is satsang. 4 S's. So satsang then is the power of communication, and here we are.
And here we are communicating.
So satsang for me, I believe that being able to communicate the way you do, you're extremely, you're excellent at your ability to communicate. You network, you reach out, and that ability changes lives. So I feel on this planet, it's one of the most powerful tools we've got, is our ability to communicate. It's what makes relationships and also what breaks relationships. If we don't communicate well, I think it's really central. If someone over communicates, or if someone doesn't communicate, I feel that can make a rift, or it can heal people. So, learning to communicate well. So when I say satsang, it's about how we communicate, how we reach out into each other's worlds, how we touch each other. So because we're not, no man can be, no person can live on their own. We're not meant to be isolated human beings. We're meant to reach out.
Yeah.
So, I guess satsang in a way is, everything you're doing really in your blogs. I think it's such a gift. And what you do with your your understanding of veganism and helping people understand that, that's a voice. You have a voice. Share it so passionately, and that's the power of communication. So I thank you.
I thank you, Annie. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's beautiful what you're saying as well. And I think what you said as well about, I recently was interviewed by another podcast called Yoga is Vegan. And I was even saying that what happened in COVID for me was just such a clear kind of, even like sort of like, we cannot live without other people, even if we wanted to, because COVID shows us that we, everything goes to shit when we start isolating ourselves, like when we start. So that's also, I do definitely believe in the strength of satsang and having a satsang and having, that people around you and being able to voice yourself for sure, like, and also being there for my whole thing is also being there for the voiceless. So for those who can't communicate like us is also why I find it so important to be a vegan activist, because, there's, or even people that have a voice, but people try to shut that voice down, like so many minority groups or, that need to be heard, but are not heard by the, by the bigger group of people. So it's very important. Yeah.
You understand the importance of communication. The fact you invited me onto the podcast says what you value. You're a communicator, and that's why it's such a delight to know you're on our Ayurveda course, because we know you'll share it wide. And we started our work not because we want to keep anything for ourselves. We should, whatever we've done, we've made. I've spent my life putting online courses, books. We're a social enterprise as a company, so whatever profits we make, we just put it back into the system, so that we can create an ongoing toolkit for people around the globe. And then and then my fourth S was savor.
Oh, they're all S's as well.
S's. So we had sadhana.
Yeah, exactly.
You had sangha, satsang, and savor.
Yeah, beautiful.
So the fourth leg is savor, and that's something we're very keen on. And savor is, for me, is, if you translate it, as you'll know, it'll mean service. Savor to me is also contribution. So it's about, it's like your contribution is what you do, and so beautifully you're a voice. That's your dharma. Your swadharma. Your dharma is you want to give a voice to people. And I guess savor. So what I do, when I teach yoga, when I teach Ayurveda, when I teach anything I do, I consider that part of my sadhana. It's my savor. I don't, it's not because we want. I don't seek to be rich, famous, or that's not why I came onto this journey. I want to be able to share what I've gained, and I've gained so much from this way of life, from for making myself feel more peaceful, for being able to attune to nature, to understand the power of light, to connect with the sun. It's nourished me so much. So my work is not work, it's my savor, it's my contribution to the world, to help, again, I guess, changing consciousness. So as you can see, that's probably something quite important in my world.
But it reminds me of a quote of Picasso, because he once said, like, the meaning of life is to find your gift, and then the purpose of life is to give that gift away. I feel that's very much what you do, because it's like, you found something, and now you're giving it away, and you're not making like this knowledge. I mean, you all are oceans of knowledge, like you, Shona, Janie. I mean, I'm in awe of you all the time. Like, let's play that video again. My God, and it's amazing. And I think that that's what I find really beautiful about, you and the team is that you are so openly sharing what you know, and it's changed your life for forever, I would say. So
I guess we do endeavor. I'll speak for myself personally. I do endeavor to practice what I really. I don't share anything that I haven't played with myself. I mean, I'm a yogi. I love movement. I love nature. I'll go out walking in the mountains here in Wales. I look at my diet, and actually understanding myself through the Ayurveda definitely added to my own spiritual practice, because understanding, I'm quite pitta. I am quite.
That's so much love between us, Annie.
I've got plenty of passion and drive in me, and I'm a very driven soul.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that has made me give myself permission to, one, to understand myself, and two, to go, okay, even if you are pitta, that's great. You just need to make time. You go away to have a retreat. You need to make time to make sure you do your practice. You need to make time to go into nature. They're important for your well-being. And I guess understanding that more from an Ayurvedic point of view is reinforced my ability to give myself permission.
Yeah.
And so now I do what I do, not just because of me, because I want it, because I know if I feel better, I'm going to influence everyone around me in a better way.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be so reactive, so I work to keep my pitta, my passionate side in check. The best of my ability.
Well, yeah. But the permission to slow down, right, is also giving yourself permission to slow down, and it's something that Shona was telling me as well, to be careful that my power is so powerful that the pitta is not pushing out the vata, which I think for me, yes, I when she said it, I was like, yeah, working on it. Because it is, of course, that's a process and a progress, I guess, that's going to take a while, but it's definitely something that I think there's something about. It's great to be so passionate, but it can also be your downfall at the same time,
Totally. So similarly, I've had to watch that my pitta didn't push my vata. So that's why I do a morning practice. I do my practice, and I make sure I get enough sleep. Those make a difference. I make sure I connect with the earth, because it's grounding. I make sure I might do a relaxation during the day, even if it's for 10-15 minutes, to again nourish my kidneys and my nervous system. I put in pockets throughout the day now to keep pitta in check, and obviously make sure I eat small amounts regularly, because that's blood sugar as well. So it's just putting the right things in place. There's no getting away. If you don't address pitta, fire will burn you out. It's just fire.
Fire is, right? Isn't it? Like, that's also what and I find really interesting about Ayurveda and learning more about it was, I think, for when I first started understanding Ayurveda and getting to know about it, which is a few years ago now, I think I was all about like, okay, I know I've always been dominant pitta. I knew that. I didn't even have to. I was like, I know what I am. Like, I'll do the quiz. You can read my polls, but I already know. But anyway, but then, when that started happening, I think I always thought that I just had to, push the pitta down, and that was it. Like, I just need to make sure that I know I can't have that. I can't have that. Not understanding that also actually what I was lacking also had to go up. So that was also something that I'm really understanding now, when Shona also said, like, yeah, but what about your vata? I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should also, if you put something down, something else also needs to come up, because it doesn't work if you just say like, okay, I won't have the spicy food, and for the rest not doing anything about it. That's what I find the sort of the perfect balance that we're trying to find, or that we endeavor to find.
Nice word, isn't
it? That's what I find magical about the life of Ayurveda, or having Ayurvedic practices in your daily lives.
Well, also what I love about Ayurveda, it's not just, I met someone the other day. I was mentoring someone the other day, and she said, I've got a very stressful life. This COVID's caused this and the other. I've got to go to work, my children. I've read up on Ayurveda, can we meet? So I did so let's have a chat. And she immediately thought I was going to talk about